Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that is very important to me and I think can benefit a lot of other people as well, and that is how to create your very own workout plan. If you're new here and if fitness and mindset related practices is something that interests you, please hit that subscribe button down below and let's get into it. So this is for people who want to learn how to work out or want to get into working out, but don't really want to invest money into a trainer or want to buy one of the many fitness plans that there are out there. It's really for the people who kind of want to do it on their own, and that was definitely me when I started working out. I was determined to create my own workout plan, to figure it all out, and I did do that. I was successful in doing that. It took a long time, and it definitely wasn't like this straightforward, clear path that you get when you invest in a trainer or a program or whatever it is. So it's a different route to take, but it was very rewarding for me to kind of teach myself the ins and outs of working out, specifically weightlifting. And it's something that I think you could benefit a lot from as well if it interests you. So my experience with this is that I wanted to get into weightlifting. I didn't know at all what I was doing, had no experience with it, but I did notice that there was a lot of information about it on social media. So plenty of influencers that I had found that I looked up to who were posting their workouts. They weren't posting exactly what they do because that would be included in a program that you have to invest in, but they did post a lot of information for free just on their social media accounts. So I became aware of this and I started to pay closer attention to what exactly they were doing, what they were posting, and over time I was able to learn a lot about weightlifting on my own through studying what they were doing and what they were posting. And I created my own program and kind of just went with it and adapted it as I went, as I learned, paid attention to new things they would post, new tips, and was just very open to constantly learning new information. So here are some things that I did when I started out and that you would benefit from doing as well if you're kind of at the beginning stage of wanting to get into working out, wanting to do something that is catered to your own personal fitness goals, but you don't really know where to start. The first thing you should do is clarify what your fitness goals are. We all have different goals. Mine specifically were to learn how to lift weights, through that build muscle, build strength. So those were my goals, and if those were yours as well, I'm kind of gonna include some tips and some exercises that have worked really well for me. But it's really dependent on whatever your goals are. There's a lot of information you can find out there on how to go about specific fitness goals. It's not going to be an entire program, like I said earlier, but it is going to be information that you can take and apply to your specific needs and your situation. So determine what your goals are. Check out my Instagram page when you get a chance. I have a reel that I recently put up there on how to set specific goals that will help you clarify what you need to do. The second thing you're going to want to do is figure out what type of equipment you're working with. Obviously, different workouts apply to different things. There's at-home workouts, there's in the gym workouts, there's all different types of equipment you can have at home or in the gym. I mean, there's a lot to work with, which can be a bit overwhelming, and which is why I think some people prefer to just invest in a trainer or a program that's already set up for them. But it's complicated, but it's simple at the same time. Once you kind of get a feel for what your options are, what you're working with, and then what you can do within that, it's not that hard to narrow down the main workouts that you need to do. And that's what this is all about. It's not like a program is going to be consistently changing, especially when you're involved in weightlifting like I am. There's going to be a certain amount of workouts, exercises that you want to do pretty much every time you work out. Like, there's going to be the main workouts that you just do, and that's a part of your routine, and that doesn't really change. And then there's other things on top of that that you kind of throw in, and there's more to it, but it's really not as complicated as it seems right off the bat. So obviously when you're in a gym, you have a lot more equipment to work with, and in my journey, I've gone back and forth. At times I've been in the gym, at times I've been at home. I mean, it's all doable and there's a lot of options within both environments. Also, check out my Instagram for some tips on if you are working out at home. There's definitely plenty of stuff you can do with dumbbells. I just recently posted a video of some tips for how to get the most out of an at-home workout, especially if you're trying to build muscle, but you don't actually have the gym membership. There's definitely ways to do that. So the third thing that I did and that I really benefited from, which I kind of mentioned at the beginning of this video, is use what you have offered to you on social media. There's so much content that fitness influencers post that is free. You know, you can just watch the video on your phone, and they do show a lot of workouts. They show proper form. Lauren Simpson is a really good one. She's on Instagram. She posts really clear representations of the workouts she does, the form, workouts that she doesn't do anymore because they're not as beneficial. So she has a lot of really good free content. Same thing with College Clean Eating. It's another person on social media who posts all types of free videos of form and workouts, exercises that she includes. She's mostly in the gym. They're both mostly in the gym, but they do also incorporate at-home stuff as well. So just make use of the free content that is available to you. And what I personally did is we have the option on Instagram to save videos. So I have like an insane amount of saved videos of different exercises, and whenever I feel like I want to mix things up or I feel like I want to verify that I'm doing form correctly, I just go on there and I find a video of the exercise I'm thinking of, and I watch it and I check my form, or I watch it to learn it and to incorporate it in my next workout. So it's really a lot of valuable free information that you can find on social media. So the fourth tip, which applies more to people like me who have a goal of actually building up muscle and getting stronger in their workouts, is, like I mentioned earlier, to have a set of workouts, exercises that you incorporate every time you go to the gym to focus on that specific muscle group. So I'm big on leg day. That's my big thing that I like. That's the main part of my body that I try to grow and to build muscle in. And so I will show you some of the workouts that are like my staples. They're called compound exercises. They're what really help you progressively increase intensity, which is what's going to lead to you seeing gains in muscle size and strength and all of that. So yeah, that's like, if your goal is to build muscle, a main thing that you're going to want to focus on is progressively increasing the intensity of your workouts, whether that is through increasing the weight, the amount of weight you're using, decreasing the amount of timed breaks that you take in between sets. There's all types of different things you can do, and all of these things, like all these factors that go into this, they can get really complicated and that can be overwhelming, but they're also fairly simple at the same time, if that makes sense. So as long as you get the gist of what it is that you're doing, and that there are several different ways you can increase intensity, that there are several different things that apply to your specific fitness goals, once you're aware of that, you know that you could go really deep into it and that there's a ton of stuff to learn, but you also know that it's fairly simple. Like, there are these simple guidelines that you follow, which are consistency. You can't work out for a week and then never work out again and achieve your fitness goals. That's just not going to happen. Increasing intensity, you get used to the workouts you do, your body gets used to it, eventually they become less challenging, and so in order to continue seeing improvement, you need to continue increasing the intensity so that they remain challenging. And then there's this fact that there are a ton of different workouts you can do, but you mainly want to stick to several of the same exercises throughout your workout so that you can improve within those exercises, increase the weight, whatever it is, get better at them and keep doing them and still see results. So the fifth thing that I would say to do, and that has helped me a lot, is once you have your set workout routine and you've got it down, you're trying it out, you're doing it in the gym, and there are days where you feel like you want to switch it up a bit or add on an extra exercise towards the end of your workout, it can be really helpful again to go into your saved videos that you have on Instagram and look around for an exercise that you can learn and incorporate into your workouts. So the sixth thing that you want to make sure you do when you are creating your own workouts is to not overlook the importance of starting and ending your workouts in the proper way. So you always want to start a workout, especially if you're lifting weights, with some warm-ups. You want to do activation exercises. There's a whole bunch of them. I will show you some of the ones that I do here, and you can kind of get a feel for what those look like. You also want to throw in some warm-ups. You need to warm up somehow. Activation exercises are a great way to do that. And then I'm at the point now where I'll throw in 1 or 2 little warm-up exercises after that. So I'll show you some of the ones that I like to do as well. Other than that, after your workout, I've been in the habit of throwing in some cardio, and I think cardio gets kind of a bad rep in the weightlifting world. I used to not do it at all. But now I actually really enjoy it, and I see the benefits of it, especially for your heart. Cardio, and then the other thing that you always want to end your workouts with is static stretches, and I'll show you some of my favorites here as well. But that's just a more slow-paced, deep type of stretching that can really help with preventing injury. Same thing with the dynamic stretches that you do at the beginning of a workout. These really help prevent injury, so they're important. And static stretching can help with your soreness and with your recovery. And then the only other thing that I kind of picked up along the way, and that is very important, is you need to get enough protein. And that's something that's, again, a lot goes into it, but it's also fairly simple. You need more protein than you would typically get if you are lifting weights. Your muscles need that. Overall, it's always best to get protein through real food. So making a point to eat things that have protein in them, which there's a huge variety. I mean, obviously meat, but then meat and seafood, but then there's also pastas now that are high in protein, beans, whatever works for you. It's just important that you are conscious about the fact that your body is going to need a little more protein if you are lifting weights. And then there's the option for protein powder, which is something I've had a mixed experience with and still use it at times. It can be really helpful, especially on days where you don't have a chance to get as much protein from your diet. But I would say that's kind of like a number 2. Like number 1 should be making sure you're getting more protein from the food you eat, and then protein powder is a nice option if you need a little extra help. And then on top of that, rest and recovery, which I mentioned, is super important. So just as important as getting in the gym and moving your body and working out, rest and recovery is so important, and it's gonna make the difference between you actually enjoying yourself through working out and seeing results and being just completely depleted of energy and not enjoying the experience at all. So rest and recovery, super important. Stretching, baths, yoga, sleep, super important for just life in general, but also super important if you're working out. So rest and recovery, definitely not something to overlook, and definitely something to incorporate in your routine. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I know that if you're someone who wants to get into working out and doesn't have much experience but is interested in this whole idea of building your own workout routine, it can be overwhelming, and it's not a simple thing to do, but it really is possible, and it really is rewarding. If you have other questions or something that I said in this video brought up some questions for you, definitely reach out to me. Let me know in the comments down below. Reach out to me on Instagram. Please like this video if it resonates with you, and I will see you next time.